Hello friends, it's Michelle at Serendipity House. Welcome to the Iron Orchid Designs Facebook page. We're going to do a fun project today and there I am. Okay, this is so funny. I got a new iPad, you guys, and it's huge. I got it to make YouTube videos on. And it's like the little TV. It's so big, it's like the little TV I used to have in my bedroom as a kid. Very weird. And let's see if I can turn it so I can see comments. All right, we're gonna be playing with clay today. Lots of clay. I've already kind of started and gotten my hands messy. That's not gonna work. There we go. All right, say hello when you come along. So we're gonna be doing this idea, but I have it, we're gonna be doing it on terracotta pots. My brain is spring and flowers and planting things. So we're going to be using the clay on the pots, and so we're going to be working on both using it for molds and for impressions, and that way we're going to get a lot of shadowing and texture when we finish them, which is just what I love to do. All right, I am going to shoot you down here. Say hello when you come on. Feel free to ask me questions. I am going to be using a bunch of the well, I'll show you what I got out. Let me just show you what I got out. I'm using the Iron Orchid Designs clay. Here it is. So we're going to be using the air dry clay. And then what I have this all set up is my cornstarch. I have a rolling pin and an acetate sheet. And then we're going to be using this stamp, which is the kindest regards, and then we're going to be using some of the crockery stamp, and then I also have molds out. So let's start building. Oh, and I have the some of the fronds because I think those will make really great impressions too. I've got some started and in different parts of the process, so I know that sometimes the molds and the clay can be scary. Some people have talked about how it shrinks a lot, but I've got a couple pieces here with air dry clay. So I'm gonna actually, after we get going here, I'm gonna pull some of the projects I have going and just show you how little the new clay cracks. It really has not been a problem for me. It gets a little cracking because it's air dry clay, but nothing bad. Just enough to give it a little bit of interest, I think. All right, so I just put a little bit of, I'm gonna move this. This is what I was doing. I've got one of these already on a pot. When I get this out, it creates such a mess in my area because I'm messy and I get drops of clay, and that I like to crank out a whole bunch of the same project or different versions of using the same project like the clay. All right, so I'm just rolling it out. You can roll it out as I like to have it be kind of random. And then I've got my pot here. Make sure it's going to fit on your pot because actually a minute ago I made one really big and it didn't fit. I'll show you how to fix it if you make it too big and it doesn't fit. I've got my thick Tight Bond glue. This is what I'm using. I'm at the end, so I've got it upside down and in a cup. All right. Popsicle sticks would be good, but I don't have any. Swipe left. Oh, there are people here. Hi, I had my comments off. Hi, Patricia and Jerry and Mitzi. How are you guys? So this is my favorite glue because it's really thick. So if you are working on things that are vertical, it doesn't slide. Your piece really, your clay really stays on well. So I'm gonna get it right to the edge. I've got a bunch of these pots that I did last year, and I keep my plants in there at my house, so I can't show you. I do have pictures on here. But I did impressions with the bird blossoms and branches stamp on one of them because it was before we had the bird song mold. So I'm kind of excited that now I can do raised bird songs. I'm going to try to cover up this. That never comes off. This is the marks where the stickers were. All right, so I'm just gonna slap it right, oh, it actually fits. Slap it right on there. And then goes on pretty easily. On the edges, I like to kind of feather them out so that they are completely stuck to the paw and they just look, because we're gonna be pouncing into this and making impressions anyways, and we're gonna build on it. So just get it right down around the edges. Who has done clay pots with clay? I love the clay. I keep finding different ways to use it, different things to use it on. Love using it on furniture. I do not think it's not breakable at all. I had it on a dresser and the drawers got banged around a little bit, and it's pretty strong. I was worried about that at first, but it turned out, after I did some tests, once it's on, it is on. All right, I think I just scraped my ring across that. Okay, so I've got two of these because I did one before I saw you. So we're gonna do the crockery on one. Important because sometimes I get busy and forget. Put your clay in the bag when you're not using it. So we're gonna use this again in a minute, but every minute counts, so lock your clay up. All right, let's start by using the kindest regards. And oh, look. I was lucky to find this, but ta-da! That's pretty lucky. Otherwise, I just try to stop things from rolling around by chance. And all right, so we just put our stamp just randomly, not lining anything up, but once you start pressing, try not to move it. All right, and I'm just gonna do a light little press because the indentation, if you do a wax or a wash over this after, this is, I think this one is wax, and this is actually an old piece that's done with the old clay. The paper clay, not the air dry clay. So it's cracked more than what you're gonna get now. I can't see all the way around. Here we go. I wanna make sure I get it all the way around. All right. I think I wiggled it a little bit, but that's okay. It's just a craft. All right, so there's that part. Now I'm gonna do the, I'm saying marmalade in the other one, and then we're gonna build on top of this with some molds. So these are like casting impressions. Ooh, I really wanted to use the fronds, but I don't think the fronds goes with the marmalade one. Let's see. I think I might put a bee on here. So what would go well with a bee? Any of the marmalades? Let's try this one. This one is larger. And I'm just gonna put it right on there. I'm gonna try not to move it like the other one. And I'm just really pushing a little harder than I would if I was stamping with a paint, or just pushing it gently into the clay. But the clay is soft, so it's making a good impression. Make sure I get all my letters. Okay, I have pressed this so hard, or more actually, what I've done before is made the clay thin enough that you can actually see through once I pressed. That all is fine too, because if you do that, then actually, did I miss a side? I'm gonna go in and see if I can fix this. If you press it through enough that you see the clay, that's fine, because you're gonna be painting it, and so you can't actually see that through as long as you're getting a good impression. All right, that's good. All right, with this one, I think I'm gonna do a couple of bees. Maybe let's start with a couple of bees. All right, I have got my flower here. I'm gonna do, if you have any requests, what I have out for the ones I've started are the bird song, wings and feathers, which I love to do shading on. And then I have the fleur-de-lis because I have used the bunny on another one here that I'm going to show you in a minute. Hey Judy, I love the molds too. So I just softened it in my hands. Hi Janice. What glue I am using, I should probably go untip it. I am using Titebond thick. It's in a blue, and I need to pick it up anyways. I'm at the bottom, so I tipped my cup over. So this glue, it's nice and thick, and that means that if you are doing something on something vertical, like if I have a bunch of things that I'm gluing up here and then I set it down, the glue, because it's nice and thick, it makes it so that your pieces don't slide. Your clay actually stays there. All right, for this part, I have a bunch of these trowels sitting around. You could use a card. You basically just want to hold something at a 45-degree angle so that you can catch the micro rim on here, so you can have a nice flat back, and the nice flat clean back will make it so that your clay will get great adhesion. All right, this is how I take my clay out so you don't rip things. Especially helpful with the mermaid or the long or big, like the swags. Put it down, roll it back like this, and then your piece should just kind of fall right out, and you get almost every time a close to perfect casting. Okay, let's see. Oh, we may as well do the little bee too. I don't know. I got talking and just didn't do him. I have got 1,000,001 things happening today. I'm in the middle of lining drawers, putting finishes on things. It's very distracting, but I think that's how I work best. Under pressure, distracted. Easy peasy. Turn it upside down, roll it out. Okay, let's glue those on. I'm gonna put my clay back in the baggie. So let me think here. What's gonna go on the marmalade one? I think I'm just gonna put birds or something on there. And on this, no, I think this one is gonna get the bees. So I have my glue in a cup, and I am gonna start with a small, one of the big bees, and then it's gonna go over. I'm just gonna build on this. You can just, I don't know how it's gonna come out when it's dry. You might get little surprises, but let me see if I want him facing up or down though. All right, I am going to face this guy kind of in, right there. Press them down softly, and just make sure that your edges, so when you're putting your molds on, you just want to make sure that the edges right by here are down. You don't want to be able to like lift it up and see space between the edge of your casting and your piece. All right. All right, let's put another one up here. And then we'll trail with a small. So usually I cast these in one day and let them dry because if you are rough sometimes, it's easy to press your paint into your clay and then lose some of the impression. I'm not very soft-handed. I just can't decide where when you're kind of crazy, you can't make decisions. That's kind of how I'm feeling today. All right, so if you just press gently, you're not going to lose any of the impression. And I think this guy is going to go right there. And I might keep adding to him. So anyway, so usually after 24 hours, I go back and I paint. And I finish them two different ways. I finish them, well, first of all, I've made many of these pots and not put a finish on them at all, or sealer is what I'm saying. And that's okay, as long as they're not outside. All right, I'm gonna put that one aside. And now we're going to mold something for this one. Any requests? Also is going to do the same thing with jars tonight. Oh no. Sorry, Linda. Linda goes live with Seaporm in a couple of hours. And I guess we were both thinking the same project, huh? I'm going to do feathers, and then I might add, no, I'm going to do birds. No, I'm going to do feathers. Know why I'm going to do the feathers? Because I have a couple things for sale already in my area that have the birds on them. And not that you can have too many birds, but you may as well have something different. Okay. I had a couple of projects I was going to do too. My second choice was going to be doing an art board, and I couldn't find a board I liked well enough to do. So, all right, I love these feathers. Love, love, love. So I think I'm going to do the feathers so they're kind of surrounding that. Great minds think alike, huh? This is always a pleaser no matter what time of year, and the pots. And I happen to have a huge stack up that I bought because of a workshop. I just bought them way in bulk. I think they're like $3.50 at my local place. I love painting them. I love painting them and having the I need more clay. And having the terracotta show a little bit underneath them too. I think it gives it a really kind of earthy French look. You just watched a blog and video where Clara did the same thing. Oh, I don't know. What business is that? I am not sure, Janice, about how the clay will hold up outdoors, but if you use, certainly on a covered porch, I would just use an outdoor sealer. And if I am going to put something on the covered porch, I will seal it with a poly, the brand that I use for poly, and then I will do my shading with a glaze or a dark stain kind of thing. And if I know I'm going to keep them inside, or if I'm using them as a decorative pot only, I love to use clear and dark wax. So I do both. And I think I'll be finishing these pots up tomorrow actually on my page, which is Serendipity House LLC. And I'll do one of them with water-based top coats and the other one with wax, just to show how to finish them off. All right, see how easy that is when you do it like that? All right, now let me just see so I don't put them on. I always have this debate, you guys. I'm gonna even let you answer it while I put glue on this other one. I've got these feathers that hang up on a wall, some metal ones, and there's always this debate on which way the feathers go. Do the wings feathers go outside like this, or do they go inside? And I think they look normal both ways. So is this the correct way, or is that backwards? I'm going to put glue on the other one while you guys decide for me. I think that kind of looks backwards now that I'm looking at it from here, but I can see both sides. I just have a brush here that I'm going to throw away after for my glue. See how thick it is? You have to really work to spread it. All right, it's backwards. Okay. I thought it, okay, so I think it does look backwards too. But it was angled the wrong way. So that's backwards? Okay. So that means this one goes over here. And I just have to look at the angle. All right. That's down. So I'm going to go around. Now let's see if I can catch that on camera. Can you see right now that there is a little bit, you can see a shadow. It's not pressed down there. So this is where I look. I press down softly there and then really make sure you get these edges. And then that shadow will go away. And that will keep your casting from, when it dries and shrinks up a little bit, it'll keep it from lifting and curling. The other thing I like to point out, because I was doing this about a year ago, but until I realized it, I had the habit, I don't know why, when I press something down, I was pressing it down and I was kind of also spreading it out. I have no idea why, but I figured out that I was doing that. So now when I press down around the edges, I kind of also press in, you know what I mean? I'll squeeze it in instead of trying to spread it out. I think maybe I was trying to get more, I don't know. Maybe I'm the only one who does that, and I had no idea I was doing it. But it really does help the clay to shrink less. If you're not pulling, then you're not going to get those cracks. Now, if you want the cracks, more cracks, then pushing it down and spreading the clay out more will get you more cracks. All right. All right, that glue on there's fine. We're going to paint over it. Right, going to go right around the edges. If you glued it enough, a lot of times you even have glue that comes right out. All right, so we've got the wings and the feathers there. All right, oops, I just touched my hair. I think this one needs a little more something. So, what does it need, people? What does it need? Does it need a bunny? More bees? How about some leaves? Leaves. Much better. Okay, clay. And then I'm going to show you one that I did yesterday with the bunny. Let's do a couple of leaves. I love the acorns in this one. They are just so detailed. I think I need to make one. Once you get the hang of this, it's actually pretty quick. And messy. Okay, here we go. Whoops, I'll do it this way so that you guys, whoops. Here's the acorn. Where's the other leaf? Way over here. Look at this acorn, they're so cute. That's the big one, and there's some small ones too. All right, let's glue these on, and then we're gonna move on to one of them that's done, and I'll see if I can do a quick wash on it for you. All right. I can't picture my design very well upside down. Although I am one of those people that can read letters backwards, upside down, inside out, typed out wrong. I don't know why. Maybe I don't pay close enough attention to detail or something. Okay, just getting around the edges. There's the leaf. And then I think I might do the other leaf right kind of inside of it. And then we'll do the acorn on the other side. I'm running out of glue. I'm awful at closing my glue up correctly. I've got to say, I admit it. I admit it. All right, and then the acorn, how about right down there? These molds are all current releases right now for current designs from Iron Orchid Designs and the clay, and your retailers all should have this stuff in stock. Sometimes when I'm done, I'll go back and add things if I feel like my design isn't even or pleasant, or if it needs some balancing. Okay, so we just did those two. I think that was pretty fast. That was in like 25 minutes. We just did two of those. So now I'm gonna see if I can put together a quick wash. So here's the one that I did earlier. I just wanted to do, I did this yesterday. So I've got 3 bunnies running in a circle, chasing after each other. I've got 2 coats of white paint, and I put sealer on it. I put sealer on it because I'm going to now do a wash of some paint over it. The paint I use is really porous, so I just wanted to be able to manipulate it more. Okay, let's move some of this out of the way and mix up a little bit of paint. There goes my glue again. All right, so a wash is just watered down paint. I'm using a gray, and this is empty too. See, I told you guys I've been working a lot. All my stuff's empty. And I'm gonna put just a little touch of water in there. I'm just gonna mix it up with my paintbrush. Hi, Robin. Is that glue or paint? It was glue. My glue's almost gone, so I had to like squeeze it out into a cup. I've got my container upside down. So yeah, so glue in the little paintbrush, I was gluing the molds onto the pot. Okay, so now, I'm not sure. I think I'm gonna add, no, I'm not gonna add more water because I've got the sealer, so it'll be kind of glossy. All right, I've got a couple of my shop rags. Let's make some room here. All right, I paint very texturally, so I hope that by doing that, we'll be able to see paint lines and, all right, so this would look much different if it weren't sealed. Maybe I'll show you one. I don't mind it actually much different not sealed. I just like to play with all different ways to do it. Let's take care of the rabbits for now. So where I really want all this to soak is to stick in where the edges of the bunny is, the edges are, I mean. Wow, I'm having real issues today, you guys. Now this is all complete. Oh, I wanted to show you, I got to lift this up to show you that there's hardly any cracking on this. That's what I wanted to. And actually the cracks would be accentuated now that I'm doing the wash. So you can really see that the clay does not have a lot of cracking to it. But there are ways to encourage the cracking. Okay, now I'm running out of hands. I do paint the inside of the lid like 1 inch down because, you know, you're putting your pots in it and not planting your plants right in it. So it's, it just kind of makes it so that you're not seeing the inside of your pot unpainted. Although I've had people at workshops paint the entire thing because they just got so excited playing with the paint that they just went to town. I'm like, what are you doing? You can't paint the whole inside. That's never gonna dry. We only have an hour. All right, now let's see if I can show you. I'll probably work it a little bit more, but that was a nice quick wash. All right, so I want you to look closely at the bunnies chasing each other here and see how little the clay cracked. I mean, I actually don't really see any cracks in the clay. The clay that I am using is the Iron Orchid Designs air dry clay sold by Stockist. It's a great clay, works really well. All right, so that's this one. I love how it came out. I would put a sealer over this again, and then I think this would be fine to be using on a covered porch outside. I wouldn't have it anywhere where it's going to get rained on. Let me show you. I've got some others. I've got a bunch of projects. I've got some hat boxes that I did, guys, and the pots that we just did now. And tomorrow on my Facebook page, I am going to probably go ahead and, well, the light is not picking that up. Go ahead and wax these, or I'll do a wash without having sealed first. So you can see the way these all look different. But these need to dry for 24 hours so that I can really get in there with like my wax brush and fill, I don't know what the light is doing, and fill those impressions so that they really pop. But I hope that you guys will try this and post your pictures on the tribe. If you're not part of the tribe, you need to go join Iron Orchid Designs Creative Tribe. Love it, like no cracking. I'm trying to turn it so they're running instead of going backwards. All right, awesome guys. Thanks so much for watching. I am here on this page doing a project every Wednesday at 1 o'clock. My page is Serendipity House. Go follow me and you'll be able to catch me finishing these projects up. All of the stamps and the molds and the clay is available at your local retailer or your online Iron Orchid Designs retailer. Have a great day. Craft, have fun, share your projects with us, and we'll see you next week. Bye-bye, guys.